everyone, another giveaway for you. I am working with a company called Auto-Vox for this video, and this is something I've wanted in my van for a long time. So these are fancy dash cam slash rear view slash reversing parking camera things. They're amazing. I've wanted one of these for so long. And yes, I have asked for a second one to give away, because I love doing giveaway competitions. I like giving something back to all of you guys for watching my videos. So this is the V5 Pro Stream Media Mirror Dash Cam. They look fantastic. I recently fitted a similar one to my parents' van. So yeah, I've wanted one for a while, but their one was great. So hopefully this is going to be just as good, if not better. So I don't think I'm going to start the installation today. That will be tomorrow. But I'll open it now. We'll have a look. Instructions. Better give them a good old read. Ooh. This looks posh. Let's have a look at this. So this is the main jobby. Now I thought it was one of those, you can get these that clip onto your existing rear view mirror, but this isn't. This is all in one. This is it. So this is going to go on probably on my dashboard, but normally it would go on your windscreen. You have a camera here on the front, so that records everything that's happening out front, and you have a rear view camera as well, so you can see everything that's happening out the back. So it permanently records and loops until you have an incident or something and someone crashes into you. Then it automatically stops recording and saves it. That's the device. There is some adjustment in this camera here as well, so wherever you position it, you can change the angle of the camera. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited for this one. Also in the box is this. This sticks onto your windscreen. This is a GPS locator, so it knows where you are. It has so many different functions on it. I'll run through all the functions in a bit. This, it's better than I thought it was going to be. This is the rear view camera. Now, luckily, I didn't know if it did, but this has got quite a bit of adjustment on it, so you can aim it exactly where you want, but they're all wide angle view cameras at very good quality. So that's the rear view camera. Oh, I'm so excited. And then you've got all the wiring. Now I think they're pretty simple plug and play, but we are going to find out together. Now the only issue with installing one of these things, reversing cameras to a vehicle this size, is the cable length. Luckily, I told them the vehicle length and they've sent me an extension cable. So I should be able to get it all the way from the back doors of the van, through all the cupboards or across the roof of the van and drop it into the front of the van. Should have enough cable length to do that. You wait till you see this all turned on. Oh my goodness. Back in a minute, let me figure this out. It seems quite simple. It seems very plug and play. So you have one cable coming off of the mirror, coming off of the display. I call it a mirror, but it is the screen, isn't it? 7-inch screen. Looks bigger than that actually. One cable, but that I have figured out plugs into this. And on that cable turns into multiple cables, positive and a negative, so those two. Don't know what the yellow one is for yet, and this one here is for the GPS thing, and this one here is for the reversing camera. Let me find out what the yellow thing is. And then there's this as well, which is the lead for the reversing camera, another lead for the reversing camera, like an extension lead. And the red one, I'm pretty sure you wire it up to the reversing light bulb if you wanted it to turn on when you put it into reverse. But this is going to be a rear view mirror for me, so I'm going to leave it on all the time. So if I need to see what's behind me, I can look at the screen and it will tell me what's happening behind. So yeah, I'm not going to probably use that red wire. So yeah, you got a couple of these piggy bank fuse blocks thing, so that you can power it into your van fuse box. Okay, so normally you would mount it up here, but I have those stick-on blinds in my, those suction stick-on blinds, so it would just be, I know I probably could cut a slot out of it off, but I don't want to. I'm going to mount mine up here. I think it would look pretty cool here. Now I just have to make sure that my phone sits on here. Make sure that it doesn't interfere with my phone placement. So, that's going to annoy me. It's not going to be quite central. Maybe I will put it up top. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll put it there. It'll look better that it's central. I wanted it here so I can still tuck my blinds behind it. The only issue I've got is, can you see all this stuff here, this black spots? I don't know why that's there. I think maybe to diffuse the sunlight so you can see in the mirror clearer. That's just a guess. Is that right? Someone tell me if that's right, because I'd be impressed if I got that. But the issue is the camera behind, whether or not the camera behind this mirror will be able to see, or whether it will have some of these dots all over the vision. Because when we installed one into my parents' van a few weeks back, that's the same thing that happened to him. Yeah, you'll definitely see them dots, I think. But it does come with all the kits to mount your own one, so I could just mount it a bit lower, but that won't look as good. Oh, I don't know what to do. Before I make any decisions, I will just loosely wire it all up so I can switch it on, and then I can offer it into different positions and then see where I want it to go. If it was there, it looks quite obvious to people walking by the van that I've got a bit of tech there. If it's up there, it just looks like a standard mirror, doesn't it? It looks quite subtle. So yeah, not sure which way to go yet. But I'm not doing anything today. Tomorrow I'm going to start doing all the installation. Can't wait for tomorrow. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Very miserable day here. Horrible, drizzly, wet, rainy, British day. Anyway, I've just been messing around this morning with mounting it to the windscreen. Now this thing, this dash cam, mirror dash cam thing comes with all the different attachments that you need for mounting it onto different types of windscreen or wing mirror mounts. I already had one mounted onto my window from obviously factory. I just don't know if it's going to work up here because of, like I mentioned, all this stuff here. So I've got that mounted in the typical mirror position, and you can see the camera there. I just think I think it's going to see this, too much of this on the display. So anyway, I've put it up there. What I'm going to do is just touch all the wires onto the batteries and just test it out before I mount it there, because if it can't go there, then I'm going to put it on the dashboard somehow. But yeah, I just want to turn it on basically and make sure that I can see, the front camera still got a good enough visibility. Because at the end of the day, it's quite important if you're in an incident, if someone crashes into you, or if you're in a traffic collision, it's quite important these days to have video evidence. So yeah, let's figure out some wiring. I think it's probably just a bit quicker and easier to just touch these cables onto my leisure batteries back here, just to see if I can get it working. So the yellow is a constant power, 100% power all the time, and the red one, you want it to become live when you switch the keys on the ignition. Right, I'm in my electrics cupboard here, just going to touch these wires onto the positive and the negative, just see if this dashboard cam comes on. There we go. So looking at it from that, I don't think them dots are going to be too much of an issue. Yeah, maybe them dots aren't an issue. Maybe that it can go there. I mean, it would look smart. It's out of the way there. The only issue I've got is with my blind that I stick on here. I'll just have to cut a slot in the blind to go around the mirror. And also, if it's here, it would affect me having my phone on here. It wouldn't be able to be central, so that's probably where it's going to go. Where they designed it to go, I suppose. First thing I've got to do is locate the fuse box under the dashboard somewhere. I don't remember where it is. It's been so long since I've taken the dashboard apart. I think it's going to be underneath the speaker cowling over there. There's only so many places it can be. Okay, Iveco fuse box is underneath the passenger side speaker cowling down here. So that's what I'm going to be tapping into. So that has decided for me that the cables are all going to run this way, down this in this pillar behind this plastic trim, and it will get its power from there. So yeah, the yellow wire's got to be a constant live, so I've got to find a fuse down there that is a constant live. So maybe, I don't know yet, I'll figure that out. And the red one's got to be one that comes on with the ignition. Yeah, so that's fairly easy to find. But if you haven't got these are extremely useful. I use these all the time. You'd be amazed at how many times you use these. You can find out which is constantly live. It touches on the earth, touches on the negative. It also tells you which is AC, which is DC. So these are very handy. So I'm going to get down there now, figure out which ports are live. There might even be some open fuses. Might be some open fuse ports that are that are ready to go. If not, Auto-Vox supply the piggy bank little wires to use the same fuse ports. But let me get down there. I'll come back to you when I know what I'm doing. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of this. There's a sheet of metal here which is attached to the van, so you need to attach the smaller one of these onto the negative, or the chassis of the van. And then I can attach this in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a red light on this thing I'm holding. So that is the live when the key turns. I've turned the key on the ignition right now, so there's 3 empty fuse points in there. After a bit of fiddling around, I realised that these lights here are a constant live, even when the keys are off. So that's what I'm going to plug the yellow wire onto. Constant live. That will be any of those really. That's going to be a live that comes, anything that comes on with the ignition, the lights, the heater, the fan, the dash lights, the radio, anything like that comes on with the key. Tricky bit that was. Right, now I'm going to take off all the trim and get these wires all down to the fuse box. There are special tools you can get for this kind of thing, but I've always had this in my van, which is a wire coat hanger, which I tape wires to, and then I can push them through little crevices and things. But you can get the proper tool for it. I know Gadget John's got one, which is really cool. I think Ash has got it as well. Kind of screws together. But anyway, this works just fine. I'm going to poke it from the bottom to the top, tape on the cables that I want to pull through, pull the cables through. That's the plan. That works really well. Pulling those, only a few cables through. The cables for the reversing camera and the GPS thing that sticks on the windscreen, I'm leaving them sort of around the bottom corner of this windscreen, not pulling them all the way down, because the reversing camera lead's going to go up to get to the rear camera. So yeah, the leads are down here now, these 3 leads, so I can plug them onto the fuse box. Okay, this won't be a flattering angle at all. But okay, so the negative, there's 3 cables I'm connecting down here right now. The negative, the red and yellow wires, the constant live and the live that comes live when you turn the key. The negative can go to pretty much any of the metal or the chassis of the van. I happen to find an earthing point up under here, which is connected there. As you can see, see if I can point it, that one there. That's the one I've just put on there. So that is my earth for the dash cam camera. Now I'm just going to piggy bank these positives, and I'll show you what it looks like after. So I changed my mind midway through messing around with these piggy bank fuse things. But it turns out that none of them fuses down there inside the cab are constantly live. Well, except like the power steering. No, so the central locking, and I didn't really want to touch the central locking one. So I aborted the whole fuse box tapping into, and I found all the wires I need to behind the radio. It was my friend Darren's suggestion, so I've done that. Now this is not the neatest way of wiring this thing in. I don't think I'm even going to show you. I'll give you a quick boom. Look at the state of my dashboard. Everything is out. So yeah, I found a constant live and a live that turns on with the key behind the radio. Use something like this to find them. They're very, very handy. So I aborted these piggyback fuses, and I've just wired in a couple of these fuses myself to both of them wires. Just a couple of 5 amp fuses in those. And it works. So now it's got a positive live in case. It's got a G sensor on it. Oh, what was all over the screen? So I think it's called a G sensor. Maybe it stands for G-force. So if someone crashes into the van when you're not in it, it switches on the cameras and records because it's got that constant live, which is very handy. It also works while you're driving along. If you're in an incident, if you do a bump into somebody, it instantly saves and records what the cameras were showing. But now if I turn the keys, oh, where are the keys gone? So now if I turn the keys onto that first setting where all the power is, there we go. All right, I know you want to be part of this bit. Oh yeah. So now I need to put the GPS in. Put the rear camera and the GPS thing in. Do that now. Tidy up my dashboard. There we go. I've just tested out by plugging in the camera here. Just testing it out. You can do a split screen version. So this will be the rear camera that I've got in my hand. And then that's the front camera. So you can do split screen. You can do just the front camera, just the back camera. So you probably want it on that view, the rear camera most of the time. So you can treat it like a rear view mirror. But no matter what setting you have it on, it records both cameras all the time on a constant loop. Okay, so I've run the camera cable along here and up into the cupboard above the bulkhead. That's going to go out through the roof and outside the van all the way to the back camera. I've also run up this pillar, the GPS thing, stuck it on the windscreen there. Okay, dashboard is back together now. Let's have a play around with it. I think this mirror dash cam can take up to 64 gig memory card, so that's what I've got here. Yeah, you can have up to 64 gig card in this, and you can choose how long it records for. I think it's like 1, 3 or 5 minutes. It just records continuously for 5 minutes and then starts again on another 5-minute recording or whatever you set it at. And then as soon as the memory card is full, it starts recording over the oldest file. You can see that these dots on the windscreen are kind of in the way on this view. When you change it to this view, they're not. Rear camera, both cameras. Okay, let's stop the recording. And then you can go to play and you can see all the files that you've recorded. Front camera, rear camera. They're all the files that are recorded. Emergency photo. So I guess that's when you crash. Emergency video, it records. Photo, no photos, but if you were to hit this button there, that takes a picture. I think that's all I'm going to do today. Tomorrow morning I'm going to fit the reversing camera. Just been hunting for one of these things so I can bring it into the roof of my van. a lot of these sort of reversing cameras are just the front bit, which kind of clips onto your existing wing mirror. But this is just its own separate mirror, and the arm for it is all solid metal. It's well solid. Feels like it's going to last. And it comes with all the attachments to fit it to different vehicles. So yeah, very impressed with it so far. I'll see you tomorrow for the rear camera install. Right, different day. Gonna try and fit the reversing camera on the back now. And I think it does have a sticky pad, and it's also got 2 holes there for screws. I think what I'm gonna do first though is, it's so cold. Just go and zip tie it onto, because it's going on my back of my van, it's going right on the top of the roof bars. So I'm gonna go and zip tie it there in place. Just for now, run the cable, come in here and just test it out, make sure that I'm happy with the camera being there. I'm sure I will be though. And then I can put a couple of screws into the metal. Might be alright with just using the sticky pad and a couple of zip ties around that. Might be easier than making holes in my roof rack. So, may do that. So I've stuck the camera on the back. Let's see how it looks now. Alright, turn the key on. Lights. Camera. And action. So I've already got a reversing camera there. This, it looks like it's flickering, but it's not flickering, it's only the camera frame rate. So there, I can see behind me. I'm trying to sort the angle out so that I can kind of look down the van, but not, I don't know. But look how the view is different. So right now I'm looking more down than directly back. If I change the view to the split screen, you can now see that I can see plenty behind me in the rear. I know that it all works, so now I can get all the cable in nice and neat and make sure that it's all watertight where the cable comes into the van. So let's go and finish off that job. Right, we're all done. We're all installed. I've done a little bit of a Mickey Mouse job with the wiring, only because the entry point that I wanted the cable to go in is at the front of the van. So I've kind of zip tied the cable to my roof rack, to the underside of my roof rack, all the way along the roof of the van and in here. On the, in the future, I'm going to put 2 entry points, one at the back, one at the front, so you don't have to do that, but it looks all right. Anyway, all done. There we go. It automatically comes up with the rear view camera and a little red dot to record. You see this van going past now, and you'll see, there he goes. So should we go through the settings? So I've set the correct time. This is the time and the date. Let's go through this. So this is the microphone setting. You can choose to record audio or not. This button here switches between the cameras. So you've got the rear view, front view, rear view. This is the play button. You can only play if you stop the recording. Stop the recording. And then play. And then you've got the front camera and the rear camera files. So let's have a look at this one here, because this is what we just recorded. It comes up with the rear view camera and a little red dot to record. See this van going past now. And you'll see it. There he goes. So that's let's go to the rear view camera and watch the same thing from the rear view camera. It automatically comes up. There's the rear view camera version of it. Red dot to record. See this van going past now. And you'll see it. There he goes. So that's how you play your footage. Okay, so on the left side here you've got emergency photo, emergency video and photo. I guess when you're in an emergency, it automatically saves. It senses that you're in the crash. What else we got over here? You can take a photograph if you wish. I'll take a photograph of that car driving past. Good evidence. So if it's recording, you can see it's recording there with the red dot. And something happens that you want to just quickly capture. If you just go bang, lock current file, it goes to a yellow dot. So I think it just locks that, so it's got that saved. So let's stop the recording and then it becomes unlocked again. Okay, let's go through the settings. You've got movie mode and general settings. Movie mode you can choose between 1080 and 720. Movie clip time, you can choose 1, 3 or 5 minute loops that it records. You can record sound, reverse line switch. I didn't do that. So if you wired that red line on the cable to the reversing light, then you get the reversing guidelines. But this is more of a rear view camera for me than a parking sensor, so I haven't wired that in. Right, if we go to general settings, you've got the beep, the volume, language, LCD, power save, protect level, so you can choose it high, medium or low. I think that's how sensitive. Speed unit, miles per hour, time sync, time zone, clock, seconds, date, time format. There we go. Right everyone, how's the view of the side of my head? We're gonna go for a drive. There's my keys. Alright, so there we go. I can see behind me. Instantly it starts recording and I can see behind me. Now I'm not gonna know if the camera is at the right angle until I get off of this hill that I'm parked on, so... Oh, I've got a pedal lock on. Hang on. I always forget I've got this, I have this lock on my pedals. I always forget it until I get to drive off. Right. It's really cool. Already I can tell, it's like got a rear view mirror. The brightness is a bit dark. So I'm gonna put the brightness right up. Oh my goodness, I've got a parking meter there, I don't want that. Oh no, what's happened? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I've just found that something out on this thing. That is incredible. I've got to pull over and show you. Oh my goodness, you can change what part of the camera you view. Oh well, this is going to be very handy. How do I get out of it though? Oh, there we go, I did it. If you swipe, you go to this mode where you can choose the camera angle. I've had this van for so long, and obviously with most vans or camper vans, there's no point for a rear view mirror. I haven't ever had one on this van, because you can't see behind you anyway. But now I've got a rear view mirror that actually can see behind me. That is cool. And not only can it see behind me, it's recording everything that's happening behind me now. Right, so I've just parked in this little car park here. That's the rear view. Let me stop the recording for a minute. That one. We go to play. You can then see the recording that I've just made coming into this car park. Right. I think I'm there now. I've been messing around with the camera angle because I didn't realise that on the screen you can change the camera angle. Let me show you. So now that is looking behind me, but you can scroll that to wherever you want to view. But if you swipe to the side, it's the reversing mode, and you can choose where you want to view that as well. So that's aiming down at the back of the van. So that's when you're reversing. Swipe it again and that's just your standard rear view mirror. That is very clever. Right, let me go for another drive. Oh man, it's so cool. Love it. Man, you guys have got to get one of these. Check it out anyway, in the video description there is a discount code that you can get for these. But Auto-Vox have given me permission to give one away, so I've got one to give away. But stay tuned to the end of this video because there is more products from them that we're going to give away. There's some different, slightly different reversing cameras that we're going to be giving away at the end of this video. And also it's safe to have these things. It's insurance for you, insurance for other people. If you see an accident, you know, if you saw a collision or an accident in front of you, you've got evidence as well if you wanted to help, you know, send it, give it to the people involved. You know, it's a handy thing to have. That, you know, we live in that time now, don't we? Everything's on, it's being listened to or recorded, so you need it. In my opinion, you need these things to be safe. Both of these cameras, front and back, are extremely high quality. And no matter where you position the camera angle on this device, it's recording the big picture, you know, everything. So yeah, you're capturing everything, and they're really quite wide fisheye lenses, so they capture everything. So that parking mode I just showed you, where you swipe across, I'm thinking that that's what comes on when, if you were to wire the red wire. You remember that red wire I showed you? If you were to wire that onto your reversing light bulb, I may actually do that now, because it would be handy. I wouldn't have to swipe to that sort of parking mode. So I may do that. I didn't think I'd want to do that. I thought I wanted it on all the time, which it does stay on all the time. But yeah, so it probably goes to that parking mode when you put it into reverse. Save you swiping it, but we'll see. Now, as most of you will find out when you click the link for this product down below, something I should mention is the price. Now, we all know, most of us know in this world, that you get what you pay for, basically. So yeah, they are quite expensive, but they're worth it. They are solidly built, really good metal sort of hanger for them. So, and you can get some discount as well. So there's a discount code down below. I would not be put off with the price. These are very important to have in your van for your own safety. So yeah, they're a few quid, but I really highly recommend them. And yeah, like I say, discount code down below. All right, going into parking mode. So I'm just gonna swipe that. It aims the camera down. Oh man. My goodness, I love it. Love it. It's one of the coolest things I've got in my van. Okay, so the parking mode. If you wire that little red wire that I showed you to the reversing light, parking mode comes up automatically when you put it into reverse. The good thing about this is you can move the camera around. Not only can you move the camera around, I'm not sure how you do it. I've just read in the instructions that you can move these parking sensors up and down wherever you want, so that you can get a real precise parking for your vehicle. Let me look at the instructions to figure out how to do that. It's here in the instructions. Tap point 1 and 3 and hold it. Oh my goodness! There's a couple of points where you can move your parking sensors around. Yeah, so you can move all these things around so you could get a real precise. Anyway, there we go. Clever, huh? Hold it for 2 seconds. The normal screen, you get compass and speed. So going back to the price of these devices, they're not the cheapest on the market. You can get cheaper versions on the market, but you do get what you paid for. For instance, I've got a fridge back here, a Dometic CRX50, which is 500 and something pounds. Now, a lot of people probably look at that price tag and think, oh, what? Why are you buying such an expensive fridge? It's because they are incredible. The Dometic compressor fridges have a big price tag, but they are amazing. They use no power. My fridge is usually on all the time. It's not now. The doors are ajar because I'm not using it, but you can leave them on forever because they use so little power. Mine certainly does anyway. But yeah, the price, obviously you do get what you pay for. So, and this is worth every single penny. Honestly, I love them. But yeah, have a look at the link down below. Click on the link, go and just read about it. There's probably plenty of other reviews on YouTube and videos on YouTube for you to watch. I can't say a bad word about it. It is amazing. Hi everyone, so quite a while after that, I've tested this thing out to the max and I absolutely love it. It is incredible. So chuffed. It's incredible. You have to get it. You have to get it. So, there may be a way for you to get this. Auto-Vox have allowed me to give away lots of products. First of all, one identical to mine. This is the V5 Pro. It's exactly the same as my one. So I get to give away that to one of you lucky subscribers. So this is the V5 Pro. They are also allowing me to give away a V5, which I'm sure is just as amazing. And they're also allowing me to give away 2 wireless reversing cameras. Exactly the same as I fitted to my granny's van the other week. Okay, so as well as giving away one of these awesome dash cam reversing camera things, Auto-Vox are allowing me to give away 2 of these, which are wireless reversing cameras. So we're going to fit this to my grandparents' camper van today. So let me go and fit it, and then I'll come back to you and I'll show you how good it is. But yeah, so stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you can win lots of stuff. Okay, see you in a minute. So, just finished installing this Auto-Vox wireless backup camera kit. Very, very simple. On the rear, I'll show you in a minute, but the reversing camera just got 2 wires, positive and negative. The negative just went to any kind of negative you can find, connected to the chassis, and the positive went to the reversing light, so that when you put it into reverse, it starts sending a signal to the screen. So I'll show you now. Here's the screen. Got a little antenna on top, a couple of buttons on the side, but as you can see, we're looking down the back of the vehicle, and that is a tow bar on the back of it, so my grandparents will be able to see that and reverse up to a wall. I'll show you where the camera is now. This is my granny's camper van. We've wired it. I wanted the camera there. I've still got to tidy up a little bit. I'm still going to tidy up a little bit, but yeah, that's where the reversing camera is going. So I know that that bracket is designed to go in by the number plate, so you can look straight out, but I wanted my granny to be able to look straight down the back of the van so she can see the tow bar, the bumper, you know, so she can reverse right up to a wall. So I switch it into reverse, and then it switches on the camera. Very neat, yeah, very neat little job. Very neat little camera it's set up. It's a very clear little camera. Very impressed with it. You can change the brightness, you can change the mirror, you can change the guides, the parking sensor guides. So there you go. Wait to the end of this video and you can find out how you might be able to win one of these wireless reversing cameras. Now, there is a catch. This one is completely free, no strings attached. The others, the V5 and the 2 wireless cameras, they only are free if you buy it yourself, and then once you've got it, you leave a review on Amazon, and then the company will send you a refund, full refund, a few days afterward. So, if you're not in a position to be able to pay up front and wait for a refund for the other items, and you just want to be entered into the competition to win this V5 Pro, the same as mine, all you need to do is go down to the comments below and type in V5 Pro only. That's what you have to type in. That way I'll know that those people that type that only want to be entered into this one. Check out the links all down below so you know how much they are. And if you don't mind paying up front, leaving a review on Amazon and waiting for the refund, then I want you to type in, "I want one please," into the comments down below. So if you type in "I want one please" down below, that means you're entering into everything. The chance to win this and the chance to win the other 3 items if you're happy to pay and leave a review and wait for the refund. I hope that makes sense. I'll also put it in the description down below so you can read it if I'm not making much sense. But yeah, that's what you got to do. Huge thank you to Auto-Vox for supplying all these cameras and dash cams, etc. They are really, really good quality. Really happy with them. The results video will probably be in 2 weeks' time. I might get my daughter to pull names out of a hat again. So yeah, make sure you enter into the competition. Please subscribe if you haven't. I'm usually doing giveaways fairly often, so make sure you subscribe. And if you can hit the thumbs up button as well, that would be really, really good. I'd really appreciate that. Okay. Good luck, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.